Sports Sunday, proudly brought to you by Sanyo and Honda.
Hope you're ready for an uphill struggle with us this afternoon as we discover the sport of rock climbing. One of our Mount Everest heroes, Andy Henderson, who lost his fingers to frostbite on that first historic Australian ascent 4 years ago, still hasn't lost his feel for high places. He's on the show today. So's Darren Clark, champion Aussie sprinter, who ignored injuries this week to chase after a ticket to Seoul for the Olympics. We'll catch up to him. Also coming your way on Sports Sunday, all the tennis highlights from Wimbledon overnight. We'll review the Dutch Motorcycle Grand Prix. And we'll preview Tuesday night's second rugby league test between Australia and Great Britain. Also this Tuesday, Iron Mike Tyson defends his world heavyweight boxing crown. We'll go a few rounds with him today. And as we continue our sporting journey to Thailand, we'll meet the Galaxy Brothers, the only twins ever to hold world boxing titles at the same time. Reaching for the stars with the Galaxy Boys, keeping fame in the family, keeping sport in your Sunday. This is Sports Sunday.
And good afternoon and welcome to Sports Sunday, a gem of a day here in Sydney, hopefully the same wherever you are in Australia. Now, if you've just come home from the afternoon barbecue, time to throw the ankle biters in the tub and put your feet up and relax for a couple of hours. Today's show is a ripper. With us as always is Mark Warren. Well, a good show today.
Yeah, it looks great, mate. The Aussies doing well in Wimbledon, of course. Plenty of sport happening this week, but what a great effort from Wayne Gardner last night to win the Dutch Motorcycle Grand Prix.
Yes, it was a big effort. He came from fourth to take that. We'll show highlights of that. And, of course, Queensland winning 3 blot in the State of Origin series.
Yeah, I tipped New South Wales last week, so I didn't do any good there either, did I?
As tippers, we make great gardeners, I think. But before we go any further this afternoon, time to update the scores from the nation. And at the sports desk, good afternoon to George Denikin.
Good afternoon, Darryl. Interesting to note that Wayne Gardner waited till Channel 9 picked up the coverage before he picked up a win too, huh? Match of the day in the Rugby League, the Brisbane Broncos playing Canterbury at Lang Park. The Bulldogs keen to keep in touch with Penrith, who now lead the Sydney Premiership. Brisbane need, of course, to win because it has a horror stretch coming up over the next few weeks when it meets some more of the competition heavyweights. I won't give you a score, but we will flash it up on the screen, so close your eyes. In other matches, Canberra is playing Newcastle and leading 26-0 at half-time. The Steelers are trailing Balmain 12-8. North Sydney playing host to the Sharks and lead 12-2. At Arana Park, it's Easts against Wests and the home team up 12-4. And on the Gold Coast, the Giants are playing Parramatta and are in front 13-4. While Hawthorn, Collingwood and Melbourne were the big names yesterday, this afternoon it's a case of can the West Coast Eagles get over the Fitzroy Lions in the only competition match. It's being played at Subiaco, and just checking the progress scores, as you can see there, the West Coast Eagles, 3 quarters, 9-9-63. Fitzroy, the Lions, 7-5-47. The first rugby union test between Australia and New Zealand is now less than a week away. The match will take place next Sunday at Concord Oval. But today at Ballymore, the All Blacks doing some fine-tuning up against an Australian B side. The Australian pack, of course, still undecided for the first test. And the match today is another opportunity for the test selectors to check just who is or who isn't playing up to form. And currently the score, New Zealand 16, the B side for Australia 4. New Zealanders aren't really flexing too many muscles. They won't show us too much this afternoon. And just a reminder, the West End National Soccer League is playing the remainder of its matches today. One of the big matches in Sydney, the one between Marconi and Adelaide City at the Bosley Field. That's all for this update. We'll have some more very, very shortly. Darryl?
George, that score, East and West, that can't be right.
It is, I can tell you, right on the button.
Well, time to burn the red, white and blue jumper, I think, honestly. Time to slash the wrist. I don't believe it. There's a few shattered people sitting around here this afternoon. OK, forgetting football for a moment, let's go back to tennis. And what a week it's been for our Aussie tennis players at Wimbledon, with Pat Cash leading the charge to perhaps back-to-back crowns. Well, Some of these matches have come to us in the wee small hours. I know you've all got square eyes. Let's take time to recap on the week that was Wimbledon.
For Wally Masur, fresh from his victory over John McEnroe, this match couldn't have got off to a better start.
Masur breaks and wins the first game of the match.
With that behind him, Masur continued to pressure the millionaire American.
Game Masur.
Great athleticism on that overhead. Masur really got back to that one well, and he wins the first set, 6 games to 4. Oh, beautifully played lob.
The Australian maintained his mistake-free form to take a 2-sets-to-love lead.
Well, it made it. Fine serve as that serve zips through. And Masur, smile on his face, has a look back up at his opponent.
But Seguso hadn't given up, and after this blew with the umpire, he was hungry for revenge.
Running on the court's going to damage your damage. Well, I'm sorry, but you can't give a warning for kicking a court.
Wow, what a shot.
That's the rocket return that you always have to worry about with Seguso. So that gives him a couple of set points now. Oh.
So Seguso wins the third set in the tiebreak, 7 points to 5.
Wally recovered from that setback and regained his match-winning touch.
Masur to match point. A sigh of relief.
Well done, Wally Masur. Thoroughly deserved victory.
Also out in his ear, Seguso's doubles partner, Ken Flack, who lost to Sweden's Stefan Edberg in 4.
That's about as much emotion as you'll ever see out of Edberg. So Edberg defeats Flack in 4 sets.
Tournament veteran Jimmy Connors had his fitness tested in a 5-set marathon, eventually beating young American Derek Rostanya.
Well, a couple of net cords, there you go. Oh.
Oh, man, what a shot. That'll get the crowd going.
Argentinian Gabriela Sabatini was too powerful, scoring a straight sets win over France's Catherine Tomvier. In other matches, Australia's Simon Newell defeated Czech Petr Korda in straight sets. Chrissy Evert did it easily over Japan's Akiko Kijimuta, and current champ Martina Navratilova beat Karen Shimper 6-0, 6-4.